Wheel.
I knew it's you!
Oh my god, the child is touching me. Please don't touch me. Oh god, this is my worst nightmare come to life. Fuck the ghost, fuck everything else, fuck Doom. This is my worst nightmare. Please tell me it's not her. Hey, what's up you guys? It's me, Gatformasie. Welcome back to another episode of The Letter. We're going to continue, we're going to progress, we're going to continue where we left off. Get some more jump scares. Progress with the story. I feel like we're getting close. I really want to finish this game. Without further ado, Gatformasie with The Letter. See you at the end of the video. We left off here with this little irritating shit. Okay, bye Miss Pink. Yeah.
See you!
Okay. Kylie's already pulling him to the cafe's exit before I can protest on it. Although it's not like there's not anything to object on it further, I may view that man, Luke, as someone hateful, maybe to the point of seeing him as an eyesore, but I don't think that'll have any bearing on what the child thinks of him. When you think about it, if she admires him so much like that, then maybe there's still something agreeable in him. Don't believe it, it's a lie! Okay. A cloudless night sky greets me when I walk out of the cafe. Beyond the tall buildings, a blanket of stars spreads out before me. Isabella once told me that the best place to view it is someplace outside the city, away from the noise and the obtrusive lights. Oh my god, my English. I'd seen it once in her mum's hometown and another time in the university she used to attend. Then she asked if it's possible to try it out here sometime. I agreed with her at the time, if only because she appeared excited at the mere prospect of it. We made those little plans along with Zachary and Ashton. Though up until now we never got around it. Even so, I find myself enjoying this, despite being told it's only half the experience. Little things, you know, stuff you learn to appreciate when you're alone. Because at certain times you get to meet people who are unfortunately born with the innate talent to ruin the mood and the scene with their mere existence alone. It's Luke driving past. Kylie sitting on the back seat with a serving of bread pudding in her hands, and beside him, it must be his wife. He takes a turn and disappears at the nearest corner, but throughout the night that cursory glimpse of all things to bother me has left me wondering what kind of person his wife is. And more than that, is a silent prayer to the universe. I hope I don't ever cross paths with that douche again. After having such an eventful day, anyone will think nothing will surprise me anymore. But here I am, standing at the top of the stairwell, watching an odd scene unfold before me. Relief crosses my mind first, followed by confusion.
What is she doing there?
What? Isabella? Although, given what happened this morning, the question feels a bit inappropriate to ask directly. What's important is Isabella's here. And her face looks fucking cross, like what the hell? Did she just see her boyfriend, like, cheat on her or something?
Hello. Sorry to call you this late. There's something I just want to confirm, if that's okay. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Thanks anyway. Not that one either.
It's a cycle. She goes through call after call. Then after the last one ends, she shuffles through the pile again and dials another number. Is it work? I've never seen her this engrossed with her own work before. Otherwise she would have noticed my presence the moment I've reached our floor. After the 9th call, she still appears as oblivious to it as when I've arrived. When she lets out a loud sigh this time, I immediately take that as an opportunity to interrupt.
Isabella, you know the house rules here.
At once her head jerks back and hits the concrete wall behind her with a thump. That's the Isabella I know. Glad it's still there. I allow her a moment to nurse it before speaking again.
Becca, you're late! Here,
I'm late?
into a little
The
trouble
fuck are
at
you
the
talking
cafe.
about I'm late?
I brought food for the two of us, if you haven't eaten anything yet.
What the fuck is that attitude? I'm a grown ass woman over here. I can come home whenever the fuck I want. Jesus. What the hell did Rebecca say now? As anticipated, she grins once I raise the bag of food I'm holding. Yet it doesn't reach her eyes. There's nothing of the cheerful glint in it this time. Just a hollow tone for the sake of being polite. Ashton's right. Something's happened.
Yeah, maybe later.
No, now, man, I'm hungry.
I've gotta finish this first. Just leave it here. I'll eat it once I'm done.
And it's gonna be cold.
Thanks, Becca.
Alright.
You can't eat this here. You know how the landlady would react. Why are you even working outside? Your room's right there.
I know. Sorry. It just feels stuffy in my apartment right now. I'll go back inside once everything's been aired out. I promise.
That has never bothered you before.
Well, it bothers me now.
Oh, really? Just now? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah? Shouldn't you be happy? I mean, you've been complaining even if it's not your room. Now I know how you're feeling when it's messy, so I'm going to clean. Isn't that a good thing?
I guess so. Jeez. You're being a little, I don't know, suspicious? In spite of what's supposed to be a good news, an exhale comes from me drawn out and slow.
It's a good thing, Isabella. Believe me. But you're as bad as Zachary at lying. What's really going on?
She hastily averts her eyes. What, like this happened?
Isabella, you can tell me.
Get it out!
Is it about your family?
A slight movement of her lips, although a frown. It's a reaction at least. I'm getting there.
Rose?
She merely shakes her head. Just a little more.
Come on, I know something happened. I don't know if it's because of Rose, but I know it's related to her somehow. You weren't here when I visited this morning, and both Zachary and Ashton are worried about you. If you don't want to tell them, you can tell me. Does it have something to do with work?
If I didn't know her, I might have missed it. She shifts then, her fists clenching tight and teeth biting her lower lip, and there's fear. The look of terror in her is the last thing I expected to see out of everything. Her mouth trembles briefly before she opens them. When she finally voices it out, the words simply spill out of her mouth. One after another, all of it. True to what I've promised her, I listen, because this is something she's been keeping to herself, even from the two most dependable people I know. The fact she chooses to tell me this speaks a lot to me.
Becca, she was there again. Last night? In the office? Boss passed me all of Rose's Lurk load yesterday. For the Ermengarde mansion. I had to stay late to finish them all. And then... when I was about to go home, I saw her. I saw her again. She was standing in front of me again last night, Becca. I couldn't get away. She was blocking the door. If I hadn't hidden myself, even if I made the tiniest noise, if she found me, Becca, she almost did. If she saw me under my table, I think that would have been the end of it. I'm scared. I'm so scared I won't be able to do anything.
Bella, I feel your pain. Because I know Zachary and that other chick were found by her, and I don't even know if they're still alive. By the end, her hands are trembling and her breathing comes out in rasping intervals. For a long moment, I let the silence stretch out between us, let her sobs fill it instead. But even as her soft whimpers die down minutes later, there's a heaviness hanging in the air, not just from her but also from me. From my exasperation over this whole matter, from my own frustrations over her stupid superstitions, when she could do us all a favor and grow a backbone. We tell her. She may be young, but she's no longer that young. It's about time to put an end to this. She can't keep going on like this. She's still got plenty of years to live out. And what if she goes home? What if we're no longer there to keep her fears in line with what's real? What would she do then? I'm more afraid for her, for what the kind of imagination would do to her, than of what some imaginary monster could. But with the manner she's looking at me right now, there's an expectation in it, a hope and a plea sewn together. She wants me to believe her this time. If it's like that, then what am I supposed to say now? Is this why you didn't go home last night? Yeah, let's believe her. Come on, man. As much as I want to set her straight, a reprimand isn't what she needs right now.
You should have called me.
She stares at me like I've grown another head, and her laughter slips out before I can stop myself.
There? I can't do that! What will you do? Hit her with a book? You'll be dead before that happens.
That isn't what I'm talking about. After you got out, you should have phoned me. You didn't have to go to Zachary's.
The corners of her mouth curl up, a sheepish smile. By general definition, but this is Isabella. Her smiles are never half-hearted, never lacks her high spirits. In spite of this, I know everything's going to be okay. Somehow. After all, she's learned how to pick herself up long ago, long before we met.
Oh, yeah.
You
Sorry.
should have called!
I don't even remember how I ended up in Zach's place. I was in a hurry to get out of the office, and it was already late.
It's excuses, that's all I'm hearing.
Besides, I don't really think you'll believe me if I wake you up over something like that.
That's beside the point. True or not, there are people who will always be concerned about you. There's Zachary, but he's the first person you went to, and you didn't tell him anything. You just slept there. There's Ashton too, and me. But how do you think I'll be able to explain to your aunt or your family if you suddenly disappeared? Think about that.
Right. I'll remember that next time.
Yeah, I'll remember that when I'm running for my life in fear. Cold-hearted, desperate fear. Yes, I'll remember that, Rebecca. You quite right there. No doubt about it, 100% correct.
Mom.
I told you not to call me that.
And now they're laughing. Jesus, this is not a laughing matter, okay? We've got a bloodthirsty ghost on our hands.
How many times have I told you girls not to loiter around the hallway? It's noisy. Some people here are trying to sleep. Quiet down or go do your talking inside. I'm pinning a memo to your door the next time this happens.
Quite, no problem, landlady. Jesus Christ.
Millennials.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean, millennials? What the hell?
Sorry. We won't do it again.
You'd better.
God, this landlady is strict, man. She's like a mother or something. I'm a mother, Jesus. Door closes and Isabella starts gathering the mess she's made, carefully stacking them all in her arm. At a loss for what to do, I help her pick them, and for the first time I get a closer look at it. Completely unintentional, of course. But it catches my attention nevertheless, and a confused frown makes its way to my face. Why is she looking through this? I look to her for an explanation, but she merely ignores the question in my eyes, takes the paper off my hands, and finishes cleaning up. The last paper she puts on top is a letter. The one she supposedly found in the mansion, and what's probably the root cause of this odd behavior. I shoot her a questioning look for that too. But all she gives me is a smile, and in a halting tone so completely unlike her.
Becca, I'll find a way out of this. You guys don't have to worry about me. Anyways, I should go. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Getting myself some food. Don't wait for me.
Isabella walks away before I can stop her, before I can remind her I've brought food enough for the two of us. She quickly disappears down the stairwell while I'm left standing in an empty hallway holding 2 bags of takeout. One of them will go uneaten tonight. Just an innocent passing thought, one that I don't dwell much on as I head back to my room. I ignore all of it, in the same way I've assumed I won't ever encounter that douche again. Please tell me. It's Thursday, thank the Lord. Yes, we're at school. Great. I was just about to think to myself that we were going to get a visit from her in our room that night. But anyways, we have passed that. It's great. Okay. No, okay. Never mind. The brief lull the past 2 days has offered is nice while it lasted. Or as nice as it can get with worries of Isabella's whereabouts creeping up to me every now and then. She hasn't showed up after that last talk we had in the hallway, and the dinner I've bought had since been given to a different neighbor before it spoils. By all means, there shouldn't be anything to lose sleep over.
Oh, you know, a few problems popping up here and there that the agents failed to tell us somehow.
Oh my god, is it show and tell or something?
Nothing a few hired hands can't fix, of course.
Ugh, you're such a douchebag, you're...
I would have preferred a place near the city and something that's new to save us all the trouble, but darling wife insisted. Who am I to say no?
Oh yes, it's tragic. It's all so tragic, isn't it?
Ah, are you kidding me?
His smug head is the first thing I see upon turning into the hall, in spite of the small crowd of parents and students gathered at the corridor for the primary's career day. It's not that he stands out, he's pretty unremarkable at first glance, frankly. However, it's his countenance that draws people's eyes to him. The manner he carries himself with all the confidence in the world. His mere presence dwarfing everything around him. Ooh, he's just so posh, isn't he?
What an ass.
You got that right, Rebecca. I was thinking the exact same thing. Single glance at him and I know immediately that one way or another, if we ever bump into each other again, my day will effectively be ruined in some capacity. He also exudes that air, the sort that makes you want to run him over with a lorry and pass it off as an unfortunate accident. You got that damn right, Rebecca. Let's do that. That sounds like a plan.
I shouldn't have volunteered.
At the time, helping out sounded like a good idea. I've no classes left today until after lunch. I could have opted to stay at the teacher's lounge and work on my lesson plans, but that means being left alone with our deputy head and his chatter. He's a good man, but Crivens, he can talk anyone's ears off. So the moment an opportunity rose, I jumped on it. It's a simple task to boot. Just deliver a whole box of materials and a few posters for the event. Maybe stay around to assist if time will allow it. I just wasn't expecting him to show up here. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Had I known, I would have stayed and suffered through our deputy's impromptu speeches about his life crisis instead. But what's done is done. Going back is also out of the question. With how unexpectedly heavy the load I'm carrying is, I'd hate to lug this for a trip back just because my pride can't take another second of interaction with the guy. He's insufferable, right? But I've had my fair share of dealings with teens of more or less the same temperament, all considerably younger than him, and they listened. If he wants to be difficult, like last time, so be it. But he can bet his sorry English arse I'm not standing down. Left with no other choice, I brace myself and suck in a breath, mustering every bit of patience I have as I step into the hall. My grip on the box tightens when I pull it closer to me and attempt to assume a low-key air as I amble towards the room. The box is not big enough to hide my face, even with the stuff piled on top, but if all else fails, I can just hit him with it. Still, a small prayer forms in my head. If there's even one listening out there, please grant me enough restraint. Better yet, I hope he doesn't notice me at all. That'll definitely make my life easier. Seriously, how hard can it be? He's standing a few ways from the door and there are plenty of people between us to use for cover. If I'm careful, I can just go in, hand in the super box to whoever's in charge, forget every plan of staying longer than necessary, and step out as soon as I can. Easy as pie. As luck would have it, the exact moment I reach the room's threshold, someone barrels towards me. Eh? She latches onto my waist before topping the sudden commotion with a gleeful squeal.
I knew it's you!
Oh my god, the child is touching me. Please, don't touch me. Oh god, this is my worst nightmare come to life. Fuck the ghost, fuck everything else, fuck Doom. This is my worst nightmare. Please tell me it's not her. Please tell me it's not her. Please! Careful now, Daisy. Don't make a mess here. My entire body freezes. Oh my god. Get off me! Upon hearing his voice alone, an irrational impulse to hit him immediately bubbles up. But before my limbs could catch up with what my brain is currently screaming at me, he moves to take the burden off my arms. Irritation gives way to surprise. Then confusion. It is in that moment when instinct finally kicks in and I tug the box closer to me before he can fully lift it up.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you pompous prick. I was bringing the box. Tell your little brat to get the fuck off me.
What does it look like? You're surprisingly slow on the uptake for someone of your profession, aren't you?
Oh, I just want to slap him. You're...
Bloody, doesn't this school have people for this kind of work? So much for being a center of academic excellence.
You're a real douchebag, aren't you? Like, you've just got that going for you. That just works for you, doesn't it, Blondie?
I'm going to ignore that slight to my alma mater and my work, because that's not what I'm trying to get at. You know what? Why don't we just rephrase that to something you'll easily understand? Why exactly are you doing this?
Well, you look like you could use a bit of help.
I don't want help from you,
Have
Blondie.
you seen your face while you were heaving this around?
Don't pay attention to my face, okay? Pay attention to your face and that ugly, disgusting grin you have on it right now.
Mister, I'm pretty sure if there's ever a look on my face, it's entirely because I saw something extremely unpleasant this morning.
That sounded wrong. That sounded so wrong. Or maybe it's just me.
Aren't you a ball of sunshine today, Daisy? Having a bad day, aren't we?
You got it right, buddy.
Oh, you have no idea.
I'd put it away if I were you.
No, please, just... You put it away.
You might scare the children.
Why the fuck did you say that?
You don't have to worry about that. This isn't my department. I was just asked to bring these.
Yeah, let's just get that over and done with.
Anyway, I can handle this myself, mister. The room's just right over there. Behind you, in fact. Now, if you could please move over and make way, it would do the whole world some good.
Don't worry, Miss Pink. Teo's strong. You can leave this to him.
Oh my god, kid, please. Are you the one who had your arms around my waist? Like... I don't like it when kids touch me.
My papa does it lots of times, but I'm not allowed to talk about it to anyone.
What? Your papa does it lots of times, but you're not allowed to talk about it to anyone. That doesn't sound right.
Teo says it's confidential.
Too big of a word, is it? Would you like the dictionary?
Confidential, Munchkin.
Confidential, come on.
That's right. Teo's smart, isn't he, Miss Pink?
Oh yeah, he's just a ball of intelligence.
I'm sure he is, Kylie. But I'm also sure he'll find better use for it elsewhere.
Like helping you out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's one thing, but
You heard the kid.
Oh, please, don't do that. Don't bring the kid into this, okay? I know I don't like kids, okay? Rephrase that. I don't like naughty kids. Let's just put it that way, okay? I don't like naughty kids. But anyways, you don't be bringing the kid into this to your advantage, okay? There's a lot of things that are being said here that I don't understand, okay? My mind can't comprehend all of this at once.
no one's asking you.
Exactly. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, you wound me, woman.
I don't care. I'll scar you for life.
And I'm quite certain I can do more damage than that. Shall we give it a try? Again?
He pales, stammers for a bit until he ultimately decides against saying anything and settles for a brief show of discomfort instead. He's probably having flashbacks of the last time we met. His composure when he finally regains some of his bearings says it all. It's nothing short of hilarious if I do say so myself.
I'll have you know that threats never work on me, Daisy.
What the fuck is Daisy? Daisy's not my name, it's Rebecca.
Not in a million years.
Rebecca! Rebecca!
You're assuming it's a threat.
Uh-huh.
How cute.
Oh yes, very cute.
But that too. I'm not scared of you.
Oh wow, you do realize we're in a hall of teenagers and you making a scene here. The fuck?
Just because you landed a hit.
I'll land more than a fucking hit. I'll land a fucking bomb on you. Jeez.
Do go on. Keep telling yourself that.
Yeah.
It was a fluke, you hear?
Yeah, keep telling yourself that
I was
too.
caught off guard and your damn book left a dent.
Alright,
If
really.
I end up in a hospital because of what you did, I'm sending the chief of Luxburn Police after you, woman.
You mean the guy that you're banging his wife? That guy?
You don't say.
Uh-huh.
Just give me that bloody box.
He snatches it out of my arms before a single word of protest exits from my mouth and quickly disappears behind the classroom. Not that it matters who brings it in now. My prioritization has already melted into amusement. He's not so bad once you figure out how his temperament works. It's almost similar to a child. Though I still have to ask.
Kylie, did your Tio eat something bad before coming here? He's unusually nice today.
A far-fetched idea, I know. But it's the only reason I can think of why this arsehole, emphasis on the R, arsehole, is suddenly acting like a decent human he's quite frankly far from being. First and foremost, we didn't end our last meeting on a good note. If I were him, I'd avoid the very person who put a dent on his skull, as he so aptly put it. Why is he acting friendly 2 days later?
He always is. But I made him promise to be extra nice to you since you helped me so much. I think you're gonna be great friends.
Oh, great. I quickly stomp on the urge to groan loudly or gag at that. He's the last person I've ever wanted to be chummy with in this whole city. But Kylie doesn't need to know that.
Are you sure it's not something he ate during breakfast?
I gave him some jelly babies this morning.
That must be it.
Really brought me lots of them. Mama said I should share, so I offered half of it to Tio when he picked me up.
Uh-huh.
He likes the black ones.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's probably why he's weird. Jelly baby overdose.
Oh yeah, definitely. If it's the licorice flavored ones, then he's really going to be overdosed. He could have done everyone a favor and choked on them while he's at
Do
it.
you want some? I've got more.
No thanks. They're probably stuffed in your pocket or something and been growing moss over there. Just saying, okay?
I couldn't play Melody or Takako this morning, but I'm sure they'll be fine sharing some of it with you.
Who? Who?
No, I'm not really very fond of them. I was just asking. Oh, where's your mum, by the way?
Out of town with Papa.
An unexpected pang hits me at her words. The statement, though innocent enough, unearths a whole trunk of memories from childhood. So eerily familiar. Nights spent eating dinners alone, the number of days coming home to an empty house growing with each passing year, and sometimes several Christmas Eves spent with relatives instead of my own family. It's too late to think about it now, but when I remember, the dull ache is still there, familiar though lessened by the years now. Beside me, Kylie takes a step back, having gotten tired of clinging to me. There's nothing but cheer in her. She doesn't seem too affected by the fact. Although it makes me wonder how much of it is real, and how much is there to mask the loneliness, if there's even one. What a lucky child.
Weren't they informed of career day beforehand?
Yeah, I told them all about it. Mama was looking forward to it.
And then what happened?
And they still left?
Uh-huh. It's important business, so it can't be helped.
Right. Why have a child? For fuck's sake.
They promised to tell me about it when they come back tomorrow, though. Papa said he'll give me a gift if I behave.
Oh, great. So bribing kids with presents, are we?
I've been a good girl, right, Miss Pink?
Yeah, sure.
You always are.
Uh-huh.
But they asked they asked your Tio to look after you? For this?
Yeah, don't be teaching her a rude word there.
Nope, they didn't.
No?
Okay.
Then how?
It was supposed to be Tia. Mama likes her better than Tio, so she asked her, but she's sick and had to visit the doctor today.
Who? Tia.
Oh, that's supposed to be a secret, by the way. Oh, but I think it's a bit confusing because Tio said she also went shopping.
She's talking about Hannah, isn't she? Because she's pregnant, and I don't think Luke knows right now.
That's unfair. Don't you think so, Miss Pink? Mama doesn't allow me to go out when I'm sick.
Jesus.
It's still okay, though, since Tio always buys me sweets before we go home.
Alright, yeah, it's just rotting her teeth right now. Yes, because the sweets just gonna keep her quiet and not ask questions. That's what they're trying to do to you, Kylie. They don't want you to ask questions. You know what? I'm not gonna delve into it anymore.
I'm gonna ask for a parfait today. Extra large. Don't tell Takako, okay?
Takako? Who the fuck is Takako? Listening to her like this, it's easy to get a picture of where Kylie's fondness for the guy comes from. She's far from a demanding child, unless you've made a promise of some sort. She never forgets those. She'll make friends with anyone, wherever she is. Buy her a few things and voila, you're settled. No wonder she's so attached to the man. The douche probably showers her with gifts whenever he can because he wants to shut her up. I can't say if the sentiment's the same for the latter, however. He doesn't seem the type and probably just does it for the sake of getting some peace and quiet whenever he's with the girl. Classic techniques.
But before that, I'm gonna show him to everyone first.
Show him... Show who?
It's gonna be great. No one else has a gazillionaire fairy godfather.
Right.
Also, when I grow up, I'm gonna be exactly like him and marry someone really handsome.
Uh-huh. Are you also gonna have an affair as well? I'm just saying.
Like Tia did. That way, I can be awesome too.
I don't want to crush her dreams, but yeah. Let's not crush her dreams. There's some sort of misguided logic in there that I'd like to correct. But before I can say my piece, the douchebag steps in, fresh out of the commotion from the classroom behind us, and plows into the conversation with every subtlety a wrecking ball has. No shite given, despite no one asking for his opinion. I never asked for your fucking opinion, okay?
Munchkin, sweetie, trust me. You don't have to marry someone for that to happen.
I don't?
Huh?
Just do your thing, darling. I'm quite sure you can do great things on your own without lugging around an extra baggage with you.
What the fuck? Wait, hold on a second. So she doesn't have to get married? So why the hell did you get married? And why the hell are you sleeping with other women? Huh? Answer us that. We deserve the truth. I deserve the truth, man.
Tia married you.
Uh-huh. Kylie drops the statement without any sort of preface. And the moment it lands, the douche finds himself grappling with the conversation.
Well, that's...
Yep, let's hear it.
That's true, Munchkin, technically.
Tell us the truth!
But it's not the same thing.
Come again? A small frown creases the girl's eyebrows. Look at her fucking eyebrow there. She looks like me, like... Wait. I can't do it now. There, I'm doing it. Can you see? Yeah, there, I'm doing it. She's doing the same thing as me, man. Oh, this is brilliant. It's not surprising either when Luke tenses under the girl's questioning gaze. It's familiar. I've seen the same look a great deal of times before. On Ashton, whenever he's trying to say something he can't quite phrase. Another second passes before the douche moves, kneeling in front of Kylie and placing both his hands on either side of her shoulders. Kind is the last word I've ever used to describe the man, but in this minute, there's a smile on his face I can't place. Tender by all means for someone as obnoxious as him. It's a curious thing to see, if not a bit odd.
Listen here, sweetie. Tia was already a great person before she met me.
Right?
She is? but I don't see her doing anything. She's always at home.
No, well, let's just put it bluntly.
Not always, Munchkin. Did you know she's really good at numbers?
You're good with them too. You helped me with my homework once.
Well, Tia's much better than me. She used to do maths with big numbers.
Oh, like millions?
No.
No.
Gazillions. And she's really good at it. So much so that her dad let her manage anything that had to do with it. That was even before she met me, too.
Does that mean she's better than you?
Oh, leagues, Munchkin. Way better than I'll ever be.
Right, there's the truth coming out. For some reason, I don't think he's still talking about his wife's mathematical prowess as his voice trails off. In fact, if I had not been paying closer attention, I wouldn't have noticed a change in him, the slight shift in his smile, from one that's tender to something wistful, like remembering a memory he has always been fond of, but has often kept to himself. And at the fleeting glance of it, a tiny insignificant part of the world somehow also shifts. Opinions changing, impressions moving.
You know what? Why don't you ask Tia next time you have homework,
Okay, next time I'll ask her to help out.
Right.
See? No need to marry a good-for-nothing bloke.
Can I also tell her to not stay at home anymore? If Tia's good at it, I'm sure she can help you out too. And Papa. He computes a lot of numbers too. Tia can help him.
Right.
You go do that. I'm sure she'll love to hear it, Munchkin, even if it's been a while since.
Another silence from him, then without missing a beat, he turns Kylie around and lightly pats her shoulder in a gesture to end their conversation right there and then and there.
But I think I saw your friend run off to the other classroom. The one with the pigtails? Go say hi to her. You still have those jelly babies to give her, yes?
All right. But wait for me, okay? I've got loads more to show you. They put up my drawing on the bulletin the other day. I'm gonna take you there later. I'll be back.
Right. Despite that, a chuckle still escapes me. His head quickly snaps at me, an accusing glare clear in his eyes, although it's less threatening now considering what I've witnessed earlier. Funny how one person's impression of someone can easily change with that minute
Why are you
detail.
laughing like that?
Don't mind me. I just saw something surprising today. Don't let it bother you.
You know, putting it like that won't make me any less inclined to ask. What is it, woman? If this is another one of your threats, I've already told you it isn't going to work on me. That good teacher act isn't going to fool anyone.
What makes you think it has to do with you? I could have just remembered something funny. Not everything in this world revolves around you, mister.
Exactly. You're not God's gift to woman, okay? Jesus.
I am not daft, Daisy. It's on your face for all the world to see. Now, say it so we can be done with this stupid talk.
I let out another laugh. More to delay than to express any sort of amusement over the matter. In truth, I don't know where to start. One wrong move, one wrong word, and I might offend the man. You're good at handling her. You really think that? I don't... You really think that?
You really think that?
It's an honest question, because no matter how much I turn it around inside my head, the gap between the man standing in front of me and the idea I have of him just won't connect. Not that the gesture will go a long way with him.
About what?
About what you told Kylie. And don't you think she's a bit too young for that kind of talk?
Kylie's 6, Daisy, not an infant who still needs help changing her nappy. At her age, she can already handle more than that. Besides, it's better to nip this whole thing at the bud. You know, before she starts thinking that a man's ego defines her self-worth. I certainly don't need someone else to define me. Why should any godchild of mine do? So, do I really think that? Yes. Yes, very much so. Why shouldn't I?
All right, I get it. I'm sorry. You just didn't seem the type to me.
I've intended to end the conversation right there and simply go my way. I no longer have any business here, and our deputy principal's stories sound more enticing the longer I stand here, with the manner Luke's almost ranting. I have a feeling this won't end if I say more. Though thinking about it, I should have let the second he has taken the box from me. Naturally, he doesn't get the hint.
The type.
Okay, God, I made a bad move again, jeez.
And what, pray tell, would my type be according to your standards, woman?
The sort I'd happily bury alive.
Well, would you look at what's coming out of those pretty little lips?
Come
What's the
on!
language, Daisy? You're supposed to be teaching children. What would ever happen to this nation?
You know what I mean.
Oh, and you somehow find that tidbit funny.
A little, I admit. That sort of wisdom is the last thing I expected to come from you. I mean, look at yourself. Pampered and pompous to the last hair. You've probably never been to this side of Luxborn until a few days ago.
Daisy, just because I'm dressed miles better than the average bloke you see every day, doesn't mean I'm incapable of thinking on your level. Actually, I'm more surprised we aren't on the same page on this. I expected better from someone with enough balls to hit a random stranger with a bloody book. In public, mind you. Someone my goddaughter looks up to, even. Guess you can't have everything in this world,
Well, of course I'm...
Oh, I get it. Running on presupposed notions, aren't we? My, what a dangerous thing to practice for a teacher.
It doesn't have anything to do with...
What is it this time, I wonder? Oh, wait, don't say it, let me guess. What do those random gossips in this bloody city usually say? Oh, right. You probably think I'd go with clingy, spoiled kind, didn't you?
What? Where did that... How did you even come to that conclusion?
Oh, don't lie to me now, Daisy. But just so we're clear, if I wanted an arm decor, I'd have gone with the first brainless munter I picked up on the streets. I have standards, you know.
I haven't even said a word. I was just asking what you thought of it.
Oh, but you were thinking about it, or else you wouldn't have asked. Might as well get it out of the way,
You are impossible.
So they say. Tell me something I didn't know, Daisy.
You... I really have no idea how anyone with half a brain can put up with you. Let me speak with your wife sometime. I'd love to ask her.
Ooh, that last remark just came out. There might be a sliver of truth in it, but I shouldn't have phrased it like that. Even for my own standards or the kind of person I'm talking to, it's still quite rude. An apology is already at my throat, but the minute I open my mouth, all of what I'm prepared myself to say dissipates, lost in the moment in front of me. He has turned... Oh my god, he's crashed, man! Oh, did I make a wrong choice? Shit.
You're right.
Oh shit!
She deserves someone far better than me.
What the hell?
Oh, Luke, you're not such a bad person.
Is that supposed to make me feel better? I'm touched, Daisy.
Take it how you will, but a little attitude change would help. A lot.
Oh, bollocks. Right, of course. Let me know when you're done with your lecture, ma'am.
And you can probably start by not leaving your wife out while you're having some quality time with your goddaughter. Who knows? Maybe that'll help change how the child sees her.
Where did you even get the idea I'm leaving my wife out? Have you ever even met?
No, but I did see her with you two last time.
His indifferent expression quickly dissolves into a confused scowl, while I meet it with matching perplexity. It has only been 2 days, surely his memory isn't that bad.
What? When was this?
At the cafe, after you left. She was sitting right beside you. Kylie was at the back and you were driving.
Daisy, are you sure you haven't accidentally hit yourself with your own book? Because that damn thing's quite big, and I'm really getting worried about you. It has only been a few days, and concussions can be dangerous. I suggest you have that checked.
What?
Well, you asked. I just answered. It's pretty rude to make her wait like that, by the way.
How can I make her wait when she's not even with us?
What?
It was just Kylie and I that night.
Now you're just pulling my leg.
Luke exhales long and drawn out, his impatience rapidly changing the companionable air around us. In the face of it, I tense. I've accidentally stepped into another minefield. Any chat I've had with him so far has been like this. Why this still surprises me escapes me, but above my worries of offending the man is my own bewilderment. I remember well enough what I saw that night, yet he says something completely different.
Wifey was out with Kylie's mummy that night. She wasn't with us.
Oh my god, it was the ghost! The ghost is following him, bruh, and you didn't even see her.
How do you think I ended up on babysitting duty?
But in the front seat. And Kylie's...
Miss B!
What the hell is going on? What? Spit it out, woman! I mean, girl, whatever!
Alright, Kylie. Calm down. What happened?
It's my friend!
That's a little too vague, Munchkin.
Let her speak, Luke. Who is it, Kylie? Melody? Or was it the other one?
Yeah.
Which is it? Melody or the other one?
Did the two of you fight?
She nods and immediately clams up after letting her sobs communicate the story instead, or as much as her shaking shoulders can tell her. Right behind me, Luke gives a nervous huff while he shifts on his feet. He must not be used to handling children crying. What a wuss.
Sweetie, I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me what happened.
Seconds pass before she responds again. The tears are already gone when she finally musters the strength to talk, her cries subsiding to mere snivels.
I wanted to give her the rest of the jelly babies, but she won't come out.
Where? Where
Huh?
is she?
In the little girl's room.
Is she still there?
Oh god. Please don't tell me I have to go there.
She won't say what's wrong. I kept asking her, but she told me to go away. Career day's going to start soon. I saw the prizes Miss Alice will give us for good. She's gonna miss it.
Is that what you told her?
Yeah, she won't listen. She won't even take the jelly babies. After I saved it for her too. She and Luke wanted to eat the red ones, but I told him it's not for him. Miss Pink, can you talk to her? Tell her to come out, and I'm really upset with her.
Okay. Tell me where she is, sweetie.
Sighing, I stand up and gesture for her to lead the way. Luke trails quietly behind us. God. Please don't tell me. Even with the small distance in between, his apprehension is palpable, whatever. Understandably so. No one wants to be caught in the middle of a children's spat. But in the end, this is all just a part of my job. I can't just shy away from it, can I? Just show me something. Don't show me something scary. Kylie escorts us to an adjacent hall. Where's the music? At this hour, the corridors and the rooms lining its sides are empty, save for the gentle rustling of leaves, the twittering of birds outside, and the tapping of our foot against the floor. The whole area stays eerily quiet. Not unusual, though. This is the part of the building reserved for club activities at the end of the school day, and with the rest of the school busy with another event, it's only natural for it to be this deserted. Come afternoon, right after class, it'll once again be filled with people. For the time being, I focus on the toilets at the far end, heading straight for it. Luke stays behind, opting to wait for the end of this drama instead, obviously not wanting to deal with another person's child. Meanwhile, Kylie follows right after me, unusually silent as we approach the ladies' room. Sometime before we made the turn down the hallway, she has stopped sniffling and started singing a tune under her breath.
London Bridge is falling down.
Oh no.
Falling down.
Please
falling
don't
down.
sing this bloody
London
song.
Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
Don't sing this bloody song. The door's slightly ajar when we get to it, and from the inside the sobs of a girl echo weakly, barely audible even in this kind of hush. That is not her friend! Despite the situation, a smile forms in my lips as I call out to her friend.
Hello? Hello there? You're Kylie's friend, aren't you? Melody, is it? She's looking for you.
Children can be so amusing sometimes. Granted, they can be exasperating, especially around this age, but the endearing things about them outweigh those. All you need is enough level of patience.
Career day's about to start, too. You'll have to come out, or you're going to be really late for it. Miss Alice won't be happy if one of her kids isn't there. I heard she brought little gifts for everyone who'll behave. Don't you want to receive one?
I'm telling you, that is not her fucking friend. Not close to a whale. Alarming regardless.
Are you okay?
From where I'm standing, it sounds almost like she's in some kind of pain. And it's not impossible. They do that at times, hiding what ails them for fear of a reprimand. If it's like that, coaxing her out might be useless. It also makes sense why she chose the loo furthest from their classroom. Wasting no time, I gesture for Kylie to wait and amble towards the door calmly so I don't alarm her. At the same time, a distinct sense of deja vu hits me. I've been in this position before, behind a door with someone crying on the other side. My calls ignored as their cries grow into a wail. Just this past week, actually. Yes, it was in the fucking locker! Even so, being in the same situation before doesn't bring any comfort. I'm putting up for the child beside me is the thick undercurrent of worry trickling into my stomach. I take one last breath, then I nudge open the door. It all happens in the span of a second. I don't make it past 2 steps into the room. Her cries abruptly stop. Light footsteps shuffle behind me, coming to a halt at the door. My heart skips a beat, and when I turn...
Kylie?
What the fuck? Kylie?
Miss Pink? Miss Pink? Why didn't you help her?
I just got in the fucking bathroom now! What the hell? My whole body becomes motionless at the sight of her, words catching in my throat and a heart pounding rapidly against my chest. This is Kylie, I'm sure of it. Yet nothing in the manner she speaks, or the way she tilts her head in question carries the youthful, innocent vibe she always brings with her. As if I'm merely looking at a dead, hollow imitation of the child.
Can't you hear her? She's asking for your help.
Oh, dude! But it is not those that trigger a memory. It's those chilling eyes, calling, beckoning.
Why won't you listen to her?
I just got here! All at once the memory returns to me. A tide that has receded and now returns to shore with an overwhelming force, carrying images of a single moment from days ago. Of a world passing by in a blur, and of features I can barely discern under the little light there was. Not even a week has passed. In this minute, while I keep my eyes trained on the child before me, they return with such unbearable clarity. There was no horrid wounds this time. No blood streaming down a pale face, thank heavens. Just lips contorted into small, twisted smile. They brim with venom I've never expected to ever see in a child, sending tiny pinpricks of dread crawling up my limbs and winding up my neck. You're a bad person. People like you deserve to die. I can't breathe. What the fuck? What the fuck? Those whispers and laughters again. Judging, mocking, taunting. Each scathing word ringing sharp and true against my ears. My throat closes in. My whole body tenses. A chill settles at the tips of my fingers. Every digit gone rigid from the cold. With every single draw of breath, any struggle for air or freedom, the coils wrapped around my body tighten, dragging me down. Where the fuck is Luke? A gradual torturous descent into another bottomless abyss.
Help!
Fuck on and on and on until I lose touch with myself and the world.
Help me!
Until darkness claims me and, unexpectedly, a note in the distant, harsh and piercing, cutting through the thick stupor and shattering the haze without warning.
Are you ladies done with your business here? I don't have all morning to wait for you two.
My eyes snap open, and the world shifts into place with a ragged rasp when I glance up. A different set of eyes greet me. Oh my god! Oh my god, don't look at me with the eyes! No anger, no vile hatred in them, just plain sincere concern. Bit by bit I become aware of my surroundings and myself as warmth steadily slips back into me. What the fuck, her eyes are like that? Why is it warmth? It's over now, yet the tension hasn't left my body. My heart still hammers hard against my chest in an erratic rhythm, and my breathing still comes in short, shallow bursts. Before me, Kylie fumbles with her hands, utterly unsure of what to do to an adult in what's probably a laughable state.
Did you get sick? I'll call Tia, okay? Stay here and don't move.
No. No need. Just leave me alone.
Tia will know how to fix you. Oh, wait, okay?
I wish I can speak reassurance to her, but I can't shake it off. The dread is there, twisting at my insides in anticipation. Of what? I'm no longer sure. Pushing myself off the counter, I break off into a run, brushing off the anxious look Kylie gives me when I gently push her away on my way out, or the furrow in Luke's brows when I stumble into him outside. The fuck? Whatever they both saw in my face, I care not to know. Bloody hell, I don't even understand what's happening anymore. The fuck? Bruh! What the fuck was that? It was like backwards, you know, like when the kid came in first, her face was like normal. And it was like all fear and stuff. And the second time we saw her, her face was like all scary. But it wasn't, but Rebecca didn't feel fear. It was like backwards. I don't know, like, I'm so confused, man. Does she want us to help her? Doesn't she want us to help her? What the fuck? Tell me what you want. Right, you guys, I think I'm going to leave the episode there. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it and enjoyed it, don't hesitate to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content. And leave me some suggestions as well in comments. I always love reading you guys' comments. You know, do you like these episodes? I really want to finish it. I know it's reading, and I know reading sometimes is a bit boring. But I love reading. Like, I love reading books. I love it. I've always loved reading books. So if you guys like it, I'm really appreciate it. The jump scares is also like really entertaining and really chilling and all that stuff. And I'm actually really enjoying the story. Like, this for me is interesting. Like a game that's a story and it has jump scares, you know? Because I'm so confused. I don't know what the hell this chick's story is. Like, why? I mean, I know we had that memory where it looked like the prince was kind of like, you know, forcing himself on her, and then the princess was in the background drinking her fucking tea and shit and watching. So maybe it's like revenge. And then we found out that the prince was murdered, so maybe it's like a whole revenge thing for her. And Luke kind of looks like the prince, and Hannah looks like the princess. But, you know, what about all these other characters? I mean, what is she trying to tell them? You know? But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys next time. Until then, have an awesome day and night in the gaming world. Cheers.